Hello, I am back with another jewelry bag. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, basically the format is I get these bags at places like Goodwill. I open them, I go through them a little bit. When I get frustrated because of all the tangles, I'll lay it out on the table. Then we'll bring over little groups of jewelry and look at, like all the rings, all the earrings, etc. And talk a little bit more about the pieces. But the fun part really is this initial opening. I'm really excited about this bag. It has been kicking around my place since June 7th. So that's a couple of months now. It's August. I am excited about this. I do see a couple of interesting pieces in here. I think this is a branch coral necklace. This, I don't think this is silver, but it's definitely like a southwestern style. There's some cameo looking ceramic pieces in here that look pretty interesting. Yeah, there were a few that just, this looks interesting, and this bag is kind of degrading from being knocked around. That might be an interesting older piece. There's some stone looking pieces. So yeah, I'm very interested to see what is in here. So without further ado, let's crack it open. Okay, so here's this piece, which this is what I first spotted in the bag that kind of made me want it, but I don't think this is silver. I think this is probably alpaca, which is a nickel silver kind of alloy, which really has no silver. It's like nickel and copper. Just feeling it and not seeing a mark, I figured that is just a costume piece. It is pretty though. Okay, and this looks like, I think this is like dyed coral. That's not bad though. Nice and good stretch to it, so it's not too beat up. Okay, let's see. I don't know if I can get this guy out. I think just because of the branches, it may have to take a while to come out. It looks like at some point someone was trying to charge $12.50, which would be a good deal for this. Okay. Oh, I got it free. How about that? And yes, this is most definitely a branch coral piece. It's in that angel skin kind of pink shade. Has a little barrel clasp. Sometimes you will see these like strung by Native Americans. Okay, that was the cats. They are having a wrestling match. But this has this little barrel clasp. A lot of times these would be sold, more like tropical tourist destinations as well. Hawaii, Caribbean, wherever. It does look like one of them broke off, but that's not too bad. Okay, that is really cool though. Okay, let's see what else we have in here. That's a giant earring, a somewhat dirty paracord bracelet. Stretch bracelet. There's a nice glass bead. Earring. There's always a lot of earrings. This is interesting. It's just these little plastic, like, three-sided beads. I always think of candy canes when I see these, because we'd use red and white ones to make little candy canes. Put them on a pipe cleaner or something. Anyway, that's just like plastic beads. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. This is okay, that does need to be fixed. That's a pretty easy fix. And those are just some nice black glass faceted beads. What is this guy? This is a cuff bracelet. It's just tangled in other things. Okay, so that's just a little costume cuff bracelet. It looks like this is it looks like rose quartz and glass beads kind of just glued there. Okay. Oh, here is this big. It looks like very probably 70s-ish. It is a ceramic printed, like screen printed cameo scene. It's kind of pretty though. Let's see here. Okay, and here is a gold tone bracelet. I don't see a brand on it. It's fairly lightweight. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's a large gold tone clamper bracelet. I don't see a brand or anything on that. It doesn't look bad though. Okay, this is another thing that I saw from outside the bag. This is not turquoise, it's artificial turquoise. Either, I don't know if it's plastic or glass, but this is Bell Trading, Copper by Bell. Yeah, so this is not an old Bell Trading, but a newer Bell Trading piece, and those are ones sold at tourist sites in the Southwest, and this is copper. So it is kind of cute though. I kind of like the style on it. Okay, it's not really free. Okay, well, let's see what else do we have in here. Okay, so this is just kind of a heavy, probably steel chain. Oh, I don't know. What does that say? SPE, Sperry? I'm not familiar with Sperry. It definitely needs a little cleaning up. But there you go, and here's my magnet. It's not magnetic, but it's definitely not silver or anything like that. More loose earrings. There's a pair. Always nice when they're hooked together like that. And here is another bracelet. A nice stretches nicely. Oh, that's pretty. I don't see a brand on this, but it is a pretty stretch bracelet. It has nice if artificial stones in it. This is a leather band with a kind of friendship bracelet weave along the front. Oh, this looks like someone repurposed these other jewelry pieces. Look like these were probably parts of bracelets and things. And this was repurposed and made into a pin. It's not bad though. Lots of pretty pieces put together. Ooh, that's neat. I like that. I don't know if that's a silver chain. I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway, that is a nice little crystal drop pendant. That's cute. There's another stretch bracelet. It's glass faux pearls, I think. There's a somewhat heavy earring. Okay. Oh, 1928. It's a very petite 1928 piece. I do like their brand. I used to buy these a lot when I was like a teenager. I liked the 1928 style. So, okay, so that's a nice brand name piece. Let's see. Here we have seed beads. That is not part of it. It's just a seed bead like lariat type of necklace. And this looks like a really cute Halloween charm bracelet with a witch's hat, a scarecrow, jack-o'-lantern, witch, and a skeleton. I don't think this is silver or anything, but that is really, really cute. Okay. What is this? Okay, so this is a bracelet. Ooh, it looks like part of it is broken. That's unfortunate. You know, I might actually be able to fix that. I think those links have just kind of come out, and I can probably just reattach those actually. It's kind of an interesting style with the different kind of snake chains on each side. Oh, I have a pair of those now. And this is another clamper bracelet. I don't think this is silver. I do not see a brand. It has that kind of Greek key style cut into it. Let's see here. Okay, so this is one of those older, a lot of these are from like Japan, these double strand. Yep, it does say Japan on the little hook clasp. I think these were like popular in post-war Japan. These usually have like aluminum fittings, you know, different kinds of beads, often 2 strands with this kind of hook clasp on it. So that's a cute vintage piece. Okay, let's see what other things we have lurking. This is a rather stretched out bead bracelet. Interesting. This is all painted metal. Looks almost like a snake skin. Okay. Okay, and this is all... Okay, nope, that is not part of this. These are beads. It looks like they were faux pearl, but many of them, it's the pearl finish has worn off, and it does look like these are glass underneath with a clasp and some of that green verdigris right there. So this may just end up in the craft lot. Let's see what this big guy was. Okay, this is a big old like angel with a rainbow or sea. I'm not sure exactly if that's supposed to be something specific. These are the Aurora Borealis finish, which kind of gives these rhinestones a rainbow effect. There is a brand on it. Let me see if I can get a closer look. I cannot quite make that out. Is it a K or H? Imbo? Earbo? Kirk's Folly. It's Kirk's Folly. Okay, I've heard of Kirk's Folly. I don't think I've gotten a piece of it before, but I know they do like very whimsical pieces. So cool. That's a nice find. I'm sure that's one I'll end up listing online. I usually do if it's a brand or something with like a following. We have a single earring on a card. What's this? Okay, here is another painted style of cameo. I don't know if that had a crack. I think that might have a crack that has been glued in it. Ooh. This looks like it could be amber and silver. I don't know what on earth that is, but okay, let's look at this one first. That most definitely looks like silver. I do not see a mark. I'll have to test that pendant. And this does look like a nice amber beaded strand that it's on. That is not silver. The clasp doesn't really match at all, but this definitely looks like it would be silver. I will test it to be sure. I don't see a hidden... Sometimes they will hide the mark inside the veil. But that is a very nice chunk of amber. I like that piece. Okay, let's see what else we can actually get out. What is this? Oh, this is a bracelet. It looks... I'm surprised it doesn't have a brand. It has a good weight to it. I think these... I don't know what these are. I think they're metal. I think the blue ones are just painted metal. I don't see any wear on them, though. They feel like they're metal. Okay. It reminds me a lot of like some 80s styles, like a Monet or something like that. It's pretty though. I don't know what this is. This is flaky and it looks like laundry detergent. Like it's kind of soft and it's been painted gold on the edge. I have no idea what on earth this is. This is very odd. Okay, I don't know what that is. It's kind of falling apart. Okay, that's kind of icky. I don't know what it is, but we'll put it aside for now. It's all tangled up. See if we can get something untangled to look at. Okay, this is definitely one of the ones I saw through the bag. This is definitely not silver or anything like that. I think this is probably maybe glass or plastic, but it is a nice pendant, nice pretty cabochon. Let's see. Oh, this is a little pen. Okay, this is a pin that has like two little sides. I don't know if this is something you would like put over a sweater, have like a sweater clasp type of thing. Okay, so this one has the... Okay, so I guess that's probably for like closing a sweater or something like that. I don't know if they're twisted around a bit there. So those are little pins. I think you would pin those on either side of like a shawl or something like that. Those are pretty. I don't see any missing stones in them though, so that is a cute little piece. All right, and here are some stretchy black faceted beads and a big plastic rose. That's kind of pretty black and red together. Okay, let's see here. This is just some seed beads strung on. Cute little seed bead bracelet. Let's see what else we can get. There is a earring. This is long. This is a very long strand. It's very lightweight. It looks like these are teeny weeny little clear beads, which they feel like plastic. I don't know, are those beads? I don't think those are beads. I think those are like little plastic coils, like an old phone cord, which are wrapped around different colored threads. That is interesting. I haven't seen one quite like this before. But they're like little tiny plastic coils. They're wrapped around these different threads that you can see the color of. That is definitely different. I do not see any sort of brand name with that. Okay. All right, let's see if there's something else I can get free. Maybe this. Okay, here is a little clamper bracelet with a I-State. I believe that's Iowa. Okay. So yeah, that's just a little costume clamper bracelet. Here's a nice little 80s bracelet, one of these little bands. I used to have a bunch of those. Okay. Oh, this is an earring. Wow, that is a lot of charms for one earring, but that is a old clip-on earring. So, okay, that's one, you know, if I don't find the other of this, those would be nice to take off and make like a charm bracelet with. So that's one. If I don't find the other one of it, I would probably keep for crafting. Okay, this is a nicer looking one. It is a station necklace. And we have what looks like either some kind of stone or glass. Let's see. Oh, this is Ann Taylor Loft. See the little loft tag. But, you know, it's definitely costume, but it's a good quality costume, it looks like. I don't see missing stones. This is probably something I would sell online, though. But that is a pretty necklace, so let's see, what else do we have? A single earring stuck on this, which is a bracelet, kind of a no-name link bracelet. Okay, let's see if we can get any of these beads. Oh my, okay, maybe not. I wanted to take a look at this strand. Okay, this is strange. This is very strange. Okay, so here we have these white, they are what people call like Mardi Gras style. They are basically molded onto the string. And it has these very unusual looking brass clasps. So yeah, that's kind of odd. It's pretty long. Yeah, weird. That's definitely a different piece. Definitely some interesting pieces in here. What is that pin? I wanted to look at that one pin. I'll find it when I find it. Okay. Let's see. This has good weight to it. I think these are, yeah, these are metal little cages around those. And this is branded. This is Express. So it's another like mall fashion style brand, but those aren't bad. It has a decent weight to it. Yeah, and I do think those are actually metal cages and not. Sometimes you'll have them, they'll be like a string. Okay, and then this, just a pretty simple little woven bracelet someone made with beads and a little bell for the clasp. That's cute. What is that? Teeny weeny little cameo for an earring. Okay. There's a single earring. It's an unusual single earring. Oh, this is one of the ones I saw from outside. Again, this is just like a pretty generic setting, but I think that's probably chrysocolla. I may or may not grab that stone and use it for something else, because that's a decent looking cabochon. Okay, let's see, earring. Kind of gnarly at the bottom here. Oh, it's because of that detergent looking piece. It's kind of dusty in there. Oh, did I have this? Oh yes, this is the one that was on the card. So I definitely have a pair of those. And these look pretty beat up. Yeah, these are kind of wearing off. So that's a craft piece. This actually looks really nice. It's not silver or gold. I think it's brass, but it is a very pretty little pendant. And I just feel like pretty good quality. Let's see here. There's a single earring. Yeah, okay, so here we have a chain with some black plastic links. I don't really see a brand on that. Can I get this thing? Okay, here is one of the shell necklaces. Something, I don't know what it's supposed to say. But it does have that cone shell at the bottom, so. Okay. Looks like we have a few of those in here. Another one. I remember this place called Hilo Hattie's when I visited Hawaii. They would give you a free chalet whenever you visited their store. By the time I left, I had probably half a dozen of those at least. Okay, there's another one. And a lot of these pretty kind of glass beads. I'm assuming there's a broken piece in here that's shedding those. There's a little feather earring. More beads. This is a bracelet of some sort. A nice link bracelet with smooth and textured little panels. Right, there's another of those like sweater clips where you can, you know, clip on each side and kind of close a sweater or shawl or something. Alright, so where did that pin go? Oh, there it is. Let's look at this pin. This is something I saw from out there. I don't know. It's not marked at all. It could be. It looks fairly old. This looks old to me. And the fact that it has gold on the back, sometimes you would find older pieces with gold on the back. It just has a simple C clasp. It looks like something maybe someone would have had, you know, engraved or something, but yeah. It's interesting. I will definitely have to test this and see if it comes out as silver. May even test that clasp to see if it comes out as gold. Yeah, so it does. It definitely has a very old look to it, especially on the back here. Okay, so that's an interesting piece. That's one of the things I saw in it that made me want to get the bag. Okay, single earring. Oh, good. These are clipped together. Isn't that lovely? I don't see a brand on those. But that is a nice pair of vintage clip-on earrings. Okay, anything else I want to try to pull out of the tangle? I don't think there's anything else I'm really going to pull out of the tangle before I lay everything out. Oh wait, here's this. This isn't tangled. These are some nice faceted opaque red beads with a nice vintage clasp on them. So that's another nice set. Okay. Anything else? There's our bell copper. Oh, we got that one free. And I think I have this earring, this beaded earring, so I can pair that up. Otherwise, look at how messy this bag is. Here's that weird piece. I don't know what this is. I don't know what might be in here. It almost looks like there's something shiny underneath. That's very odd. I don't see any chains in here that look like they're silver or gold or anything. There are some nice looking beaded pieces in here, but they will need a bit of untangling. So I will work on untangling these. White House Black Market. There's another brand piece. But I'll work on untangling these, and then I will lay everything out, and we can kind of take a look at everything laid out on the table. Okay, I'll see you shortly. Alright, so I've laid all of the pieces from that jewelry bag out on the counter, just to give you a good idea of how much was actually in that bag. Again, this was an $89 bag, so it was not cheap. We had a fair amount of necklaces, bracelets, a couple of pins, only a few earrings. Yeah, so let's take a look at some of these up close. All right, so these are some of the pins and earrings that were in that bag. All right, so pin-wise, we have this like conglomeration here. It seems to be pretty sturdy. They're all just kind of glued together with some kind of resin or something, and I think there's a clear piece of plastic. Yeah, it makes for a pretty nice effect, though. I will probably end up putting that at the antique mall. And here is our lovely big Kirk's Folly piece with all those nice little Aurora Borealis rhinestones. That I'll probably put up online. I think these are going for anywhere between like $15 and $45. This is a nice big one, so hopefully I'll be able to get something for that. And then we have this, which I thought would be silver. It is not. It is actually magnetic. It has very interesting hand engraving. It almost looks like rocker engraving on it. It's probably a little hard to see in the video, but that is very fine hand engraving, which, you know, it's very odd to be on a harder ferrous metal like that. And it does have a very old looking clasp. I'm going to hang on to this one and see if I can do a little more research into this type of jewelry. I think it's probably pretty old, regardless of the material type. I mean, I'm surprised based on the engraving that it's a harder metal like that. So it's an interesting piece regardless. Okay, and we had two of these sweater clips. This one's a little more modern with a snake chain. I don't think either of these had a brand on them. I'm not sure. These might go up online just because it's not something a lot of people are going to be looking for. So it has a very, very specific audience. We have that one, and then we have the one with the little pearls and hearts, which that one's pretty cute. Okay, earring wise. Okay, so these are the earrings which had pairs. We have this one on the card, just a little beaded piece. We have some very inexpensive twisted hoops. These will probably end up at the antique mall, as probably will these little beaded ones. These may or may not. I may put these up online. They have all their rhinestones. They seem to be in pretty good shape. Those are a cute pair of vintage clip-on rhinestone earrings. Okay, and then we have this. This is a single. This is also Kirk's Folly. I believe it's missing one of the little rhinestones. I don't think I have any bags from the same place at the same time. I may sell this singly online, but I will probably use these little hearts and make a charm bracelet or something out of it, even if it is brand name. Okay, all of this is just single earrings. I didn't see anything too interesting in here. There's our tiny, tiny cameo. That would make a good doll necklace. If I wanted to make a cameo necklace for like a Barbie or something, I could do that. I don't think this is gold. Now this, I don't know what's going on here. This is an earring, post earring with these. And for some reason it has this chain attached with a drop to it. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this was, this is intentional or people were just trying to keep these pieces together. Most of these things will end up in the junk lot. Just for crafting and whatever, because there are some good beads and parts on there that can be used for other things, rhinestones and whatever. Now, I always mention how you should look for your detritus, your little bits, earring backs and whatever. This is an earring jacket. There was only one. I don't know if you actually saw it when I was going through things. This is probably not going to be something you can see on the camera, but I'll give it a shot. Okay. Nope. Okay, I am not sure if there's any way you can see the mark on this. I'm using my phone. But this says 18K. And I tested this twice. And it is indeed solid 18 karat. Yes. So anyway, that weighs just over a gram. It is 1.08 grams. And with today's gold price, which I think was $46.41 an ounce, something like that, this gram is about $100. So this silly little earring jacket is worth more than I paid for the entire bag. So there is 18 karat. I've found 14 and a lot of 10 karat in these bags before. Some mostly smaller pieces, but I found some bigger chains and stuff, but I don't think I've ever found 18 karat before. I think this is the first time I found an 18 karat piece. It's really pretty. If I had another one of those, I might actually keep those and use those with some of my pearl or diamond studs or something like that. But as it is, that is $100 worth of gold. And here's Jack. Hi, Jack. Hi, sweetheart. Yes, you're very pretty. Okay. I'm going to get some other pieces from this lot, and we'll take a closer look at some of the other things. All right, so let's take a look at all the bracelets that were in that bag. Just looking at these, the majority of these will end up at the antique mall. There are a couple I might sell online, but for the most part, these are going to be sold at the antique mall. A lot of them for just a few dollars, or, $1 to maybe $5 or $6 at the most. Okay, so let's take a look. We have this costume medal with these glued in pink, it looks like some rose quartz, some pink seed beads, some clear crystal beads. Kind of gives it a druzy effect. Kind of cute. Yeah, okay. So let's see. Then we have this beaded one. This is nice and firm. This appears to be dyed coral. Okay, and this is another beaded one. These are nice glass black faux pearls. I may restring this one or use it in the craft lot. It is a little loose. It's not too bad. This one is just, I guess you could say it's soggy. It's just very stretched out, and yeah, that'll probably end up in the craft lot because it's very stretched out, and I really don't think I want to spend the time to restring it. So okay, let's see what else we have. We have this leather band. It has a little a little wear to it, but it's not too bad. This is one I may actually sell online. It is a brand name, Ashley Bridget. It's not specifically very expensive brand, but the fact that it's Iowa State, it's very unlikely someone is going to come into a Colorado thrift store or antique mall looking for Iowa State merchandise, because that has a special focus. If something has initials or like an out-of-state team, a lot of times I will put it online just so it can maybe find the right audience. Okay, a dirty paracord bracelet that will probably end up in the trash. These are very worn beads, very stretched out. Some of the beads look okay. I may put it in the craft lot. It may just end up in the trash. Let's see. Here's a nice little beaded one. This is definitely something I would put at the antique mall for like $1 or $2. I will probably throw this with the old bracelets I have from when I was a kid. There's another little stretch bracelet. That'll probably end up at the antique mall. Same with this. Nice clamper bracelet, just metal, no name on it or anything, but. And some of these I may list some of these more kind of 80s, 70s, 80s metal style ones online. They may sell a little better online than at the antique mall. I like this one with the navy blue painted links. Okay, so we'll see about those. This one, I'm fairly certain I can fix this one by just adjusting these little prongs and sticking that back on there. So I will probably put this at the antique mall. Same with this little cord. Looks like these are brass. They have a little weight to them, these beads, and a little bell. I don't think it really rings. This, I didn't even test this for silver. I am confident that this is not silver, that this is alpaca. It definitely has that look and feel to it. It's not soft, so yeah. That I would put at the antique mall, probably $5 or $6, whereas if it was silver, that would be like $60 or something. Okay, and this, even though this is a very plasticky rose, these are nice glass black faceted beads, and I think it makes a very pretty color combination. Here's another clamper bracelet, nice big thick gold one. Again, no brand on that, but it's in good shape. Okay, this stretch bracelet, I may put this one online as well. I'm not sure. It has really good stretch to it. I don't see any brand inside, but it is a very pretty bracelet with pretty kind of plastic rhinestones. I think this is the favorite bracelet I got in this lot just because it's really cute. It's a really cute Halloween charm bracelet. It even has this witch's hat with a little charm on the charm. It's like an Inception charm and charm with a tiny little jack-o'-lantern. So this is a really cute piece. This I will probably list up online around Halloween time. Probably. I may put it at the antique mall, but I think it'll probably get a better audience online. But yeah, it's really cute. It almost looks like it would be silver or pewter, but it is magnetic. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the necklaces. Alright, so let's take a look at some of the beaded necklaces that were in that lot. Okay, first up we have this one. I talked about this one a little when I was unpacking. It is marked Japan. It has these aluminum findings, and these are just plastic beads, double strand. Very common coming from Japan post-war. So I think this is a very nice vintage necklace. It's in very, very nice condition. So I probably will end up putting this guy online. Okay, this, this was probably very nice at one point. Unfortunately, it's just shedding the coating on these old faux pearls. So I don't even know if this will end up in the junk pile, honestly. it kind of feels a little greasy, and you can see the pretty severe verdigris on this clasp. So I don't even know if I would save the clasp. That'll probably just end up in the trash. Okay. All right, we have these two that are nice older faceted glass beads. One in black, one in this really nice opaque red. Both with very vintagey looking clasps. I may sell those online. I'll see. This is all just plastic beads. It does seem to be in pretty good condition. They're just little faux pearls and then faceted red plastic beads. It's very long. Yeah, so that's probably something I would put at the antique mall, you know, for $1 or $2. Same with this. These are little glass seed beads. It's in this kind of lariat style. Yeah, so that's kind of cute. That's, again, something that'll probably go to the antique mall. This, I'm definitely going to hang on to for a while. I may restring these amber beads with a little nicer string and maybe a sterling clasp, since this pendant is sterling. I did test it. I do not see any marks on it. It is definitely sterling. Yeah, it's a very nice piece of amber, so I think that's probably one of the things I'll keep from this lot. Okay, this I am probably going to hang on to for at least a little while and compare it to a similar piece I have. I have another angel skin coral necklace that is branch coral like this, and I probably want to see which one I want to keep. The one I don't want to keep, I will probably send up to the antique mall. Okay, we have lots of seashells in this lot. We have what? We have these 4 different seashell lays, 2 of which have this painted term. I was able to do a little searching online, and what it's supposed to say is Sofitel Huahine. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but that is the name of a now closed hotel in Tahiti, in French Polynesia. So I'm guessing that, you know, that's where they got these. There's a good chance that they also bought this coral there, because that's a very similar, you know, kind of item they would sell in a tropical place. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of times you'll see in these bags a common theme, and you'll figure the same people owned a lot of these pieces. I'm not sure what I'll do with these. All right, so we have this piece. This is a very long strand of glass beads, and it's kind of a mix. Some of these glass beads, like these little clear ones, look pretty nice. Some of the others look like they may have had well, that one's just broken. May have had a painted, like, frosted coat on them that is now kind of wearing off and sticky. But some of the others look, you know, like really nice little art glass beads. So this may end up in the craft lot for someone to see if they want to take some of these nicer beads and use. Okay, and last in the bead section here, we have this guy. Again, I talked a bit about this when I pulled it out. These are the Mardi Gras style, I don't know what you call them, when they're molded directly on to the string. So they're very inexpensive, and you really can't do much other than reuse the strands. It does have this somewhat unusual looking brass clasp on it. That one I would probably just put up at the antique mall. Okay, let's grab some more necklaces. All right, so let's take a look at more of the necklaces that were in that bag. Okay, I think we looked at this one a little when I pulled it out. It's very unusual material. It's this little clear kind of plastic coil with colored thread inside. It's very lightweight. They almost look like teeny tiny beads, but they are not. So I've never actually seen this material before. Yeah, so it's very lightweight. I'll probably put that up at the antique mall. Maybe I can find more about this kind of jewelry online. let's see here. This I just need to reattach a slipped little jump ring. It's kind of a cute gold tone. It has these little kind of root beer amber glass beads with little roses in between. It's just a little costumey piece. That again is probably something I'll put at the antique mall for a pretty low price. Then we have this, which it was tied up. I thought it was more of a lariat, but it's just a single strand, no clasp. This is not a chain. This is some kind of thread with these, you know, I don't know what you call them, triple triskelion kind of three-sided beads. They're just plastic beads. So again, that's probably something, I may put that in the craft lot. I may put that up at the antique mall, I don't know. Let's see what else we have here. This is a very inexpensive, very thin, kind of flimsy filigree circle. Yeah, that may go in the craft lot. I might put it at the antique mall for a whole $1 or something like that. But it's very lightweight, very kind of flimsy. Let's see. This is cute. This is probably like a home crafted, you know, buy your beads at Michael's or Hobby Lobby and string them type of piece. But it is cute. I like the little glittery heart. That might be something good to put up at the antique mall around Valentine's Day or something. Let's see. This is that nice Ann Taylor Loft kind of station necklace. Yeah, you can see it has, I don't know if that's glass or a gemstone right there with lots of little rhinestones. It looks like there are a couple of missing ones, but I do have a supply of clear rhinestones, so I can go through and replace any of those that are missing. But that, because it's a name brand, it'll probably end up online. Let's see what else. This is an Express brand, and it is just this kind of black gunmetal tone with glass beads. Okay, and this, I'm not sure about this piece. It's unusual in that we have these bars and then we have these glass beads. And this, what is being used as the pendant, doesn't really match at all. So I'm not sure if this is something that, you know, an individual kind of crafted and put together. I don't know. I'll probably put that at the antique mall for cheap. Here is a ball chain, just a regular steel ball chain. That's always good just to put a charm or whatever on. This is the White House Black Market. It is just silver tone with some glass beads. So that's a pretty kind of double necklace with you know, different color. I think they're all glass. I don't know if these big ones are glass, but that's a nice kind of brand necklace, so I'll probably put that online. This is just a brass neck ring, so I'll probably end up putting some kind of pendant or something on it. It looks like there was a pendant or something, and there's just this broken little bit left on it. So, but I can always use, you know, neck rings or chains or whatever. This is just a very lightweight kind of gold tone with these little plastic brown beads. It's a pretty effect on it though. This is plastic. I think it's kind of like a faux tiger eye looking piece, but that's cute. That'll probably be at the antique mall. This one, the necklace up here, it's fairly heavy gold tone. Down here we have these plastic links, and then these kind of brass tone looking beads in between. It's not a super heavy high quality piece though, so I'll probably just put that up at the antique mall. This is a very unusual piece. I doubt this was sold commercially. I think somebody might have like parted this together. It's unusual construction. You have this kind of copper chain link joined by beads, and you can see the wire on this is going like on both sides, in the middle and on the outside. And you have a very unusual mix. We have coral, what looks like maybe either stone or glass, and we have some plastic beads. We have little stone chip beads. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with this one. Yeah, so it's a very unusual mix. So yeah, that's definitely plastic. I think that's a glass bead. I don't know if that's a stone or a glass. These are big chunks of dyed coral. It's made to, you know, look like red Mediterranean coral, but that's definitely some of the dyed stuff. Then we have just these little copper links in between. So yeah, I'm assuming this is more of a homemade type piece. I'm not sure that it's strung very well, so yeah, I may just take this apart and take some of the beads for my own use or put it in the craft lot. Okay, let's get the rest of the jewelry. All right, so this is the end of the jewelry from that bag. Let's see. So we have this. This is a Sperry costume necklace. It is pretty heavy, silver tone. I guess Sperry is an older costume brand. I haven't really run into it before, but that's a nice chain choker. So I'll probably sell that one online. This necklace was just in pieces. That's what a lot of the beads I kept finding were. There were a few seashells that came off one of those lays, but that's mostly what I found in the bottom of the bag. I'm not a big fan of ones that use a ribbon to tie in the back, because you can see how dirty the ribbon gets. It looks like, yeah, this was just on some string that broke. But those are very nice glass beads, so those will end up in the craft lot. I'll probably throw the ribbon part away. Here is a petite kind of V-shaped necklace. That's the kind of thing, it's just costume. There's not much to it. I'll put it at the antique mall for like $1. I'll put it on a little card or something. This is a 1928. It's very small for a 1928. But that's probably one I'll list up online, because I know there are 1928 collectors and fans out there. And here is that big, I think that's like a screen printing or something. But it's definitely not hand painted or anything. It's this big kind of vintage cameo piece. Fairly heavy ceramic. So I may put that one up online. I don't know. It would go good at the antique mall because of the look. It would definitely get a wider audience online though. So I'll have to think about that one. And this is the other one that's a kind of printed cameo. Might be hard to see, but this looks like it was cracked here and maybe glued back on there. Yeah, so I don't know what I'll do with that. I may put it in the craft lot. I'll put it at the antique mall for like $1 as is or whatever. This is that pretty cute little brass, I think it's brass pendant. So I'll probably end up putting that on a chain and selling it. Let's see. Oh, here's this. I still have no idea what this is. It's very lightweight. It looks like somebody took like detergent, like powder detergent, and formed it into a disc and painted the edge gold. This is very strange. It doesn't smell like soap or anything. It's soft, it crumbles. I don't know what to make of this. I will probably throw this away, but if you have any idea what the hell this is, please let me know. Because for some reason, someone thought this was worth putting on a, you know, gold chain and possibly wearing it. But then again, somebody gave it away, so they didn't like it that much. Okay, anyway. Weird. That is very strange. Okay, what else do we have? We have this nice chain, just a silver tone chain with some different glass beads on it. So that's kind of pretty. I may put that online. Sometimes if the pieces are a little longer like this, it's just easier to take pictures and display them online. So, and here is the other express necklace. We saw this when I was taking it out with the wire wrapped beads. So, okay, yeah, that's an express necklace. That'll probably end up online. This is one of the kind of bead or fish wire type, you know, floating necklaces. This, you know, the The string on this isn't in too bad of condition. Like, I see ones that are really bad. However, the beads themselves were painted glass and it's wearing off, so that's probably going to end up in the craft lot. Okay, pendants. So this is the Bell Copper. This, I would have to guess, is probably from the 80s or 90s. This is not like old tourist trade. It's a little newer, but it's pretty. I'll probably put this up at the antique mall since I have some Western style jewelry there that I can kind of hang out with. All right, this I think this is just glass that has been you know, kind of made to look like agate. It's not actual agate. I'd probably just put this at the antique mall. I like this little crystal. It's just a ball, you know, with the drop setting, with the Aurora Borealis finish. I think it's kind of pretty. I wouldn't keep it, but I don't know. I may put it up online. We'll see. Okay, and lastly, I have this, this is a cabochon of chrysocolla. It looks like a pretty decent stone that's been put in this kind of pre-made setting. So I'm not sure if I want to just kind of sell it in this setting or if I want to take that stone out and, you know, use it in a solar project. I have a lot of cabochons that I need to use for different projects, so it almost seems silly to take this one out to use it, though it may deserve a nicer setting than this. So I'll have to think on this one. Okay, let me get together some of my favorite pieces from this lot and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so here are some of the more interesting pieces from that lot. Overall, I thought it was a very good lot. You know, it's easy when it's something like this makes up for, you know, the value of the lot. That is a gram of 18 karat gold. So, you know, that pretty much makes up for what I spent on this lot. Even without that, though, there were some very interesting and just beautiful and unique pieces in this. I liked all of these big fun pendants. Some of these vintage beaded pieces are very nice. We did find some designer pieces. This 1928, this Kirk's Folly. I think that's a nice find. I can probably get at least $20 or $30, which would go, you know, toward the cost of this lot. By the time you add up all the little bits and stuff I sell, I shouldn't have a problem recuperating, you know, that $90 again over that gold piece I found. There was, of course, this super cute little Halloween charm bracelet. The branch coral, it's nice to see that. I haven't seen that in a jewelry lot before. And of course, this really nice amber pendant that I'm going to keep for myself, at least for the time being. And then there's this piece, which I find it very interesting. It probably doesn't look that interesting in the video. I'm just interested in it because it looks very old. It looks like pre-1900. Yeah, so I kind of like to find out more about this style of pin that might have been made. It has this etching onto it, which I think is very interesting that it's etched in that way and that it's not a softer metal like silver. So anyway, I thought it was a good lot. I think it was definitely worth my time. I hope you enjoyed looking at it. If you know anything more about these pieces I didn't mention or have any questions, please let me know. There should be links below to some of the pages where I will sell some of this. I don't know if this stuff will be up, but I do sell stuff from these jewelry bags on like eBay and Mercari and various sites. So go ahead and check those out. All right. Thank you.